Evening, everyone. Zabora here. Every once in a while, I come across a good question on Facebook and I do a video on it. Today is one of those days. So, the question is, please, who can teach me how to develop my sixth sense? Now, some of the comments that were in the comment section were like meditation and watch certain YouTube videos and stuff like that. But my answer is a little different. Now, for those of you who don't know, your sixth sense, that's your psychic ability. We're talking about that gut feeling. Basically, everybody has that. Everybody's got that little voice in the back of their head that peeks up and goes, "Hey, some shit ain't right," you know? It's that place of knowing, of perfect understanding. Even if you don't have all of the evidence or all the facts, it's just a blatant, perfect knowing. And that's just the only way that I can understand the feeling. At least that's how it feels like when I slip into that place, that beta wave. I don't know, that alpha wave. I don't know. So basically, what it is, what I did actually is I used tarot and divination. For a long time, I was doing daily card readings with tarot. I would record what the card was, any images that popped out, any kind of just little things, and I started to trust my gut in what I was feeling. I'd write everything down in the journal. I'd go about my day. When I'd come home, I'd pick up the journal, I'd read it, I'd reflect, and I would record, the day's events. And I realized, like, after a couple of weeks, I was extremely exhausted and I wanted to stop. But that was because I was tapping into my own energies versus grounding and centering and tapping into the other energies around me. I do have a video on that if you need a video on grounding. I will link it down below. So, I did eventually slow down and I started doing just one reading a week, and I switched from a one card format to a three card format. And that slowly developed into a nine card format, which is the standard format that I use when I read all of my cards. And I want to pull out of that. That's kind of why I got that tarot book by Barbara Moore, the Spreads book. But anyway, that don't matter. So, that would be my suggestion, is grab whatever divination tool you choose to work with, get yourself a notebook, and record. Don't do what I did. Don't do daily readings. This is also another way of getting to know your tarot, and this will help you to understand the tool you're using. It will imbue your own energies into the deck, and you will begin to recognize certain things. Now, it doesn't happen all at once. You're not going to just have a good reading and you'll have a good reading every time. There are readings that I've had that I've made no sense of. There are readings that I just could not understand. And I don't know what it was. It just sometimes shit goes wrong. Um, Maybe it's just an understanding that I've never, I couldn't grasp at that point. So just don't do what I did. Don't do the daily shit. Try to stick with at least once a week doing a three card spread or a one card spread or whatever, just to kind of get to know yourself. And then when you start to realize, because eventually you will learn to trust your gut this way and recognize that feeling, you'll recognize that perfect understanding that I'm talking about, you'll start to see a pattern emerge. And you'll begin to recognize, okay, this symbol means this symbol means that, this is how I feel, this card says this, but I feel it means more like this, just because of what's going on lately. And this way you'll be able to actually learn to trust your gut, and your gut will eventually start speaking to you, without the use of a divination tool. You'll start to be more aware of people's energies. You'll start to be more aware of your surroundings. At least in my opinion, this worked for me. I don't know. So that might be something you could try. It is a more tedious process than some. Like, I did this for months, and I mean months, not one or two, but like 7 or 8, where I was doing like weekly readings. And I don't know, it made me into a fucking great diviner. I love divination. It's got to be my favorite subject, and I can pick up a I can pick up anything and just divine with it. I've become really good with trusting my gut and interpreting the signs. But it also has helped me to get to know me, and that might be a part of the process. I don't really fucking know. I can just tell you that using tarot and divination helped me to develop my sixth sense because it helped me to trust myself. So that is it for tonight, guys. Sun update.